it's me, Trixie, and I'm bringing you the truth. And today's topic is how to raise a conservative daughter. Now, this is not something you're going to hear on traditional media outlets. No, I heard this on Breitbart, SiriusXFM radio station, and it's on their website too. I'm going to leave a link below. But people, this book is amazing and the interview's wonderful. The interview's with the author of the book, Easton. I wrote a few notes to make sure I don't forget because Michelle is now one of my biggest idols. Oh, she's amazing. She's right up there with Kellyanne Conway and Marjorie Taylor Greene. These ladies are powerful, yet they're also not feminists, I love that about them. But they're in their own element, and I just look up to them so much. And Michelle, she is the president of the Claire Booth Luce Center for Conservative Women. How amazing is that? And she's worked with today's youth at the Young America's Foundation. So she's got real experience with young people today. She's also raising her own children, just like me. And I'm certainly going to be using her book. Her book is like a handbook, for how-to handbook for conservative mothers. And so you better run out and get yourself a copy, especially if you have daughters or nieces or friends with kids. And so I just want to make sure that we talk about it, but that you know that this is my interpretation of her book and her ideas. And so, it's not verbatim of what Michelle said. If you want that, you can listen to the interview there. But this is Cougar News, and I am bringing you my truth and my interpretation, okay? So let's talk about what she talked about, and that is it's never too early to start talking to your kids about God. Always put God first, right? And then make sure that your young girls know that it's important that women and men have very different roles, and not to get confused with these ideas of gender and sex. No. Now there's nothing wrong with being a woman. In fact, women get to give birth. And so when you give birth to your daughter, it is not too early to start talking to her about the miracle of childbirth that only a woman can do. Yeah, that's wonderful. I love that so much. It's such a great point. I wish I was raised this way, to believe in these things and not these feminist ideas. So yes, do that and be the cool mom that listens to Christian rock, and make sure that you're not exposing your kids ever to any sort of mainstream media outlets. You should always have conservative media outlets playing in the background, in the car. You want to listen to things like Breitbart on SiriusXM, and you want to listen to Fox News and conservative media outlets One Media Outlets. And I'm not going to go on about that. You know what they are. And so yes, make sure you are in charge of what your children listen to, but you don't want to come off as controlling or demanding, even though you want to control them and control what they listen to. But you need to be sneaky about it. You need to cultivate it. Michelle says, cultivate it, nurture it. Don't be that strict parent, be the cool parent. And it's genius, right? You want your daughters to want to look like you and be like you, and you want them to aspire to be like you, and you don't want to let them be on social media, because social media is a way to be exposed to other people. So if you do let them be on social media, you have to control who they're looking at and what they're being exposed to, and make sure that you follow their phones. There are all these great tracking devices out there, so you can keep a close eye and see, what are your kids listening to? Who are they talking to? What are they saying? Don't let them know that you're doing it. Oh no, you have to hide it from them, because you want them to think you're cool and you're letting them think for themselves. But do not let them think for themselves by any means. Do not. That's where the danger ends up. That's where you end up letting them go to school thinking for themselves, and they come home radical feminists. I can't even tell you, this happens so often, and Michelle talks about that in her book and in her interview. So some of her closest friends, thought they raised their daughters right, and like in the Christian church and going to like Bible camp, but those kids came back like from college, like radical feminists. Like, that's scary, people. We need to stop these things from happening. You know, we need to take control. It's not a bad thing. You're the parent, you're the boss, you get to be in control, but don't let your kids know that, okay? By all means, be the cool parent. Seem like you're being like, you know, understanding and compassionate and loving, but only let them see certain friends and certain people, and don't let them listen to pop music or go out to see all these like movies and TV shows. Now with streaming services, you have to put child protection on that. You have control, people. Take control. Find out what kind of control you can have and take it, and don't apologize for it. Your kids will admire you for being the boss, right? And make sure that you tell your daughters that they can give birth and men can't. And there's nothing wrong with being a woman. A woman's amazing. It's a miracle. Like, we have so much power, and like, you know, don't want to be like a man. Don't want to give up your power, and don't want to be a feminist. Feminists are like ugly and like, oh God, they're just so political all the time. Like, no, you know, you want to be loving and kind and compassionate and being a homemaker and cooking and having babies, and like, you know, don't let your daughters go to like, you know, like liberal arts colleges. Like, no, people. Make them go to the colleges that you want them to go to, okay? So I hope that you enjoyed today's show. I think that these are so important, and I can't wait to see what the world will look like if more women thought this way and felt this way. I just think it would be such a better, healthier, more conservative, like God-fearing world. And that's what we should aspire to, right? Not this like gender bending, like everybody gets to choose who they are, what they are, like what their sex is. No, God chooses that for you, people. So I love this. I love Michelle Easton. Don't forget to buy her book. And no, I'm not getting any money from her at all, but like, it's a great book. And I will see you again. This is Trixie signing out from Cougar News. And don't forget to leave your comments and tell me what you thought of this and how are you raising your children. I want to hear from you. And what do you think about this show? Tell me. I really want to hear from you. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on your notifications, okay? Thank you so much for listening to me. I appreciate your support so much. I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi, it's me, Tracie, and I just can't believe what Trixie said. She thought she was going to do this segment on her own, but I can't in good conscience let that happen. So I'm making this as a rebuttal because we have to rail so hard against everything she said. I mean, I can't believe the words that were coming out of her mouth. She used to be a staunch feminist just like I was. We were raised to be feminists from a very young age. And we were told that marriage is a trap, and having to give babies, that's a total patriarchal burden and a trap, and it's so unfair that role is on women. And like, as your leader on the left, I just want to say that we can stop this, people. Medical science is so advanced. How is there not enough pressure on them to make sure that men can start carrying babies? We have to pressure our scientists more to figure out a way to unleash women from this patriarchal burden. And we also need to just, you know, if that doesn't work, we just have to stop having babies. Look, people, come on. We have to get real. Global warming is real. And do you know that the amount of trash that one person creates in their lifetime is 102 tons? That is insane. That is like, how are we ever gonna not have an ocean full of garbage? And this is why whenever I go anywhere, I keep a grabber tool and a recycling bag with me. And I pick up garbage wherever I go. And I fill up that bag on a daily basis. It's scary. It's terrifying. And we should just stop having babies because there's no other way we're gonna have be able to save the world. And the only people that should be able to have babies are men, or like through incubators, just, because we don't want to completely get rid of the human population. But really, I don't know. Maybe we do deserve to end ourselves the way that we're behaving. But I want to believe in people. I'm trying hard to believe in people. But when I hear people like Trixie, it just, I don't know. My belief is shattered. I'm shaken to the core. And I really want to hear from you. You really need to tell Trixie how you feel, especially if you don't believe what she's talking about. And controlling children's minds? How horrible is that? We need to teach children that empower them to believe in themselves and to fight for the rights of other humans. We need to teach them that love is love, and raise them to, kiss each other and not care about their gender or their sexuality. Girls should wear boys' clothes, boys should wear girls' clothes. Like, we should encourage this way of being and raising our children, because it starts at a young age. That I definitely agree with Trixie on. So we should encourage our young girls to wear boys' clothes and boys to wear girls' clothes. We should teach them that it's okay. Just imagine how different the world would be if more children were raised that way. That would be so beautiful. That's the kind of world that I would want to fight for and I would want to live in. Not the world that we have today with this patriarchal burdens of marriage, and this whole thing with raising a conservative daughter. Ugh, I don't even know who Trixie is anymore. Anyways, so please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. And please vote for me as your leader on the left. This is Tracie signing out.